Once you accept pain, your life starts making sense. There comes a moment in a man's life when he realizes something uncomfortable but true. Pain was never the enemy. Running from pain was. Most men spend their lives trying to avoid pain. They avoid physical pain. They avoid emotional pain. They avoid the pain of discipline, responsibility, and effort. And because of that, life never makes sense to them. They feel lost. They feel frustrated. They feel angry at the world. But the moment you accept pain, not as punishment but as a teacher, everything begins to change. Because pain is not here to destroy you. Pain is here to shape you. Once you accept pain, your life starts making sense. Not because pain feels good, but because resistance ends. This message is not soft. It is not comforting. It is corrective. Listen carefully. Life has always been difficult. It was never designed to be easy. But modern men were taught something dangerous. They were taught that pain is wrong. That discomfort means something is broken. That struggle should be avoided at all costs. That lie creates confusion, because life keeps delivering pain whether you accept it or not. The only difference is this. Men who resist pain suffer without growth. Men who accept pain grow without resentment. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. And suffering comes from resistance. Before a man can find meaning, he must accept reality. Reality includes pain, loss, failure, loneliness, fatigue, pressure. These are not mistakes. They are requirements. Pain is the price of becoming something stronger than you were yesterday. Once you accept this, life stops feeling unfair. Number 1, pain is the entrance, not the obstacle. Most men believe pain blocks the path. In truth, pain is the path. Discipline hurts. Training hurts. Growth hurts. Responsibility hurts. But so does weakness. So does regret. So does stagnation. You are going to feel pain either way. The question is not whether you feel pain. The question is which pain you choose. The pain of effort or the pain of regret. Once you accept pain as part of the journey, confusion disappears. You stop asking, "Why is this hard?" and start asking, "What is this shaping in me?" That shift gives clarity. Number 2, avoiding pain creates chaos. A man who avoids pain avoids reality. He avoids difficult conversations. He avoids hard work. He avoids discipline. He avoids responsibility. And slowly, life becomes unmanageable. Problems stack up. Health declines. Confidence disappears. Pain delayed becomes pain multiplied. The man who avoids discomfort today pays with chaos tomorrow. But the man who accepts pain early gains order later. Life begins to make sense when effort replaces escape. Number 3, pain exposes what matters. Comfort hides truth. Pain reveals it. When things are easy, you don't know who you are. When things hurt, your priorities become clear. Pain removes distractions. Pain removes false desires. Pain removes illusions. What remains is what matters. That is why disciplined traditions do not avoid pain. They use it. Cold, silence, repetition, fatigue. These conditions strip life down to essentials. And in essentials, meaning appears. Number 4, pain teaches self-control. Nothing teaches control faster than pain. When you are tired and continue, you learn restraint. When you are uncomfortable and stay calm, you learn discipline. When you are frustrated and remain silent, you learn mastery. Pain trains the nervous system. A man who has never faced discomfort collapses under pressure. A man who accepts pain remains steady. Life stops overwhelming you when pain no longer surprises you. You expect it. You accept it. You move through it. That is strength. Number 5, pain builds respect for yourself. Self-respect is not built through praise. It is built through endurance. Every time you choose pain over comfort, your mind learns something important. I can be trusted. I do what I say. I do not quit. Confidence comes from evidence. Pain provides that evidence. The man who avoids pain doubts himself. The man who accepts pain believes in himself. And belief changes behavior. Number 6, pain removes victim thinking. Victim thinking says life is happening to you. Pain acceptance says life is happening for you. Not because it feels good, but because it forces growth. A man who accepts pain stops blaming. He stops complaining. He stops waiting for fairness. He asks one question: what must I do now? That question restores power immediately. Life makes sense when responsibility replaces resentment. Number 7, pain gives structure to life. Discipline is structured pain. Training at the same time. Working when it's boring. Staying focused when it's uncomfortable. This structure removes mental chaos. A life without chosen pain becomes disordered. A life with chosen pain becomes stable. Structure creates clarity. Clarity creates calm. And calm allows progress. Now understand this clearly. Pain does not disappear when you accept it, but confusion does. The mind stops fighting reality. Acceptance removes friction. Number 8. Pain strengthens the mind faster than motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Pain is honest. Motivation comes and goes. Pain shows up every time. Men who rely on motivation stay weak. Men who accept pain stay consistent. Pain does not ask if you are ready. It tests whether you are disciplined. And discipline creates identity. Number 9. Pain simplifies choices. When you accept pain, decisions become simple. Do the work or suffer later. Train now or decline later. Stay disciplined or pay the price. Life feels complicated only to those avoiding effort. Pain acceptance cuts through confusion. You stop negotiating with weakness. Number 10. Pain connects effort to meaning. Meaning is not found in comfort. Meaning is found in effort. Effort requires pain. That is why easy lives feel empty, and difficult lives feel meaningful. When you accept pain, effort increases. When effort increases, meaning follows. Life begins to feel purposeful. Number 11. Pain removes entitlement. Entitlement collapses under pain. A man who accepts pain does not expect life to be easy. He expects it to be demanding. This expectation removes disappointment. You stop being shocked by difficulty. You stop being offended by challenge. You adapt. Number 12. Pain teaches patience. Pain slows you down. It forces you to breathe, to endure, to wait. Patience is forged through discomfort, and patience creates long-term vision. Men who avoid pain want everything now. Men who accept pain understand time. Number 13. Pain creates emotional resilience. Emotional fragility comes from avoidance. A man who has never faced discomfort overreacts to everything. But pain exposure builds tolerance. You become harder to shake, harder to provoke, harder to break. Life loses power over you when pain no longer controls your emotions. Number 14. Pain clarifies identity. Pain forces a decision. Quit or continue. Escape or endure. Collapse or adapt. Each decision shapes identity. Men who accept pain build strong identities. Men who avoid pain stay uncertain. Life makes sense when identity is stable. Number 15. Pain removes the fear of hardship. You stop fearing what you already accept. Fear lives in avoidance. Once pain becomes familiar, fear weakens. You stop imagining worst outcomes. You start handling reality. Courage becomes routine. Number 16. Pain trains humility. Pain reminds you of limits. It removes arrogance. It removes false confidence. But it also builds real confidence. Confidence rooted in experience, not ego. Number 17. Pain turns discipline into habit. Repeated exposure creates adaptation. Pain that once felt unbearable becomes normal. That is growth. What once broke you now builds you. Number 18. Pain removes distractions. Discomfort sharpens focus. When things hurt, nonsense fades. You stop caring about opinions. You stop chasing validation. You stop wasting energy. Only what matters remains. Number 19. Pain teaches gratitude. Only men who suffer understand peace. Comfort without pain feels empty. Rest after effort feels earned. Pain gives contrast. Contrast gives appreciation. Number 20. Pain aligns you with reality. Reality is demanding. Pain prepares you for it. Men who accept pain stop arguing with life. They work with it. Now listen carefully. Pain is not something to seek blindly, but it is something to accept willingly. Chosen pain builds strength. Unchosen pain builds resentment. You decide. When you accept pain, you stop running. You stop complaining. You stop feeling lost. Life begins to make sense. Not because it becomes easy, but because you become capable. This is why disciplined traditions respect pain. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand growth. Pain sharpens. Pain clarifies. Pain strengthens. Remember this. Your life feels confusing because you resist what is required. Accept pain. And suddenly, effort has meaning. Discipline has purpose. Struggle has direction. Once you accept pain, your life starts making sense. And you stop asking life to be easier. You become stronger. That is the way. Continue. And here is the final understanding that ties everything together. Because pain alone is not enough. Acceptance alone is not enough. Pain must be used. Number 21. Pain becomes wisdom when you stop fighting it. Pain that is resisted turns into bitterness. Pain that is accepted turns into wisdom. Most men ask, how do I get rid of this pain? Strong men ask, what is this pain teaching me? Every hardship carries information. Fatigue teaches limits. Failure teaches adjustment. Loneliness teaches self-reliance. Discipline teaches structure. When you stop fighting pain, you can finally hear the lesson. That is when life starts making sense. Number 22. Pain forces you into the present moment. Pain does not live in the past. Pain does not live in the future. Pain exists now. And now is the only place where action is possible. Most confusion comes from living in memory or imagination. Pain pulls you back to reality. Your breath, your body, your effort. In the present moment, problems become smaller. In the present moment, control returns. Pain anchors you to what is real. Number 23. Pain separates illusion from truth. Comfort allows illusions to survive. Illusions about who you are. Illusions about what you deserve. Illusions about how life should be. Pain destroys illusion. It shows you your discipline level, your patience level, your mental strength. This honesty is painful but necessary. Life makes sense when you see yourself clearly. Number 24. Pain teaches commitment. Commitment is tested only when it hurts. Anyone can commit when it's easy. Only disciplined men stay committed under pain. Pain asks a question. Will you stay or will you run? Each time you stay, commitment strengthens. Each time you run, confidence weakens. Life rewards commitment, not intention. Number 25. Pain creates mental depth. Shallow lives avoid pain. Deep lives pass through it. Pain deepens thought. Pain deepens character. Pain deepens perspective. This is why men who have suffered speak differently. They move differently. They see clearly. Depth creates meaning. Number 26. Pain removes the fear of effort. Effort only feels scary before pain is accepted. Once pain becomes normal, effort feels natural. You stop asking, can I handle this? You start saying, this is required. That mindset removes hesitation. And hesitation is what makes life feel heavy. Number 27. Pain teaches discipline without words. Pain does not negotiate. It does not lie. It does not flatter. It demands respect. That is why pain teaches faster than advice. A man who accepts pain learns quickly. A man who avoids it repeats mistakes. Life makes sense when lessons are learned the first time. Number 28. Pain reveals who should stay and who should leave. Pain exposes relationships. Some people support you through pain. Others disappear. This clarity hurts, but it simplifies life. You stop forcing connections. You stop chasing approval. You conserve energy. And conserved energy creates stability. Number 29. Pain builds internal authority. When you endure pain, you stop seeking permission. You trust your judgment. You trust your endurance. You trust your direction. This internal authority cannot be taken. Life overwhelms men who depend on external reassurance. Life respects men who stand on their own discipline. Number 30. Pain prepares you for responsibility. Responsibility is heavy. Pain prepares the shoulders. Men who avoid pain avoid leadership. Men who accept pain can carry weight. Life makes sense when you are capable of holding responsibility without collapse. Now understand this clearly. Pain is not a phase. Pain is part of life. You don't eliminate it. You integrate it. When you accept pain fully, you stop asking why. You stop waiting for rescue. You stop blaming circumstances. You act. Life stops feeling random. Struggle stops feeling meaningless. Effort stops feeling pointless. Because pain connects everything. Discipline, growth, strength, meaning. Remember this final truth. A life without pain is not a meaningful life. A life that understands pain is. Accept pain. And life will stop confusing you. Not because it becomes gentle, but because you become aligned with reality. That alignment is clarity. That clarity is peace. That peace is strength. And strength is what carries you forward. Calm, disciplined, unbreakable. That is the path. Continue. And now comes the last layer. The part that separates men who understand pain from men who are rebuilt by it. When pain is fully accepted, it stops being emotional. It becomes functional. You no longer ask pain to leave. You ask it to work. Number 31. Pain becomes direction, not distraction. Most men lose direction because they run from discomfort. They chase comfort. They chase ease. They chase escape. And they end up lost. Pain points you forward. Pain shows you where discipline is missing. Pain shows you where strength is required. Pain shows you what must be trained. When pain appears, a disciplined man does not complain. He adjusts. That adjustment creates direction. Number 32. Pain removes confusion about priorities. Confusion comes from excess. Too many options. Too many distractions. Too many false goals. Pain simplifies. When things hurt, only what matters remains. Health, discipline, focus, responsibility. Everything else fades. Life makes sense when priorities are clear. Pain clears them. Number 33. Pain builds trust in yourself. Every time you endure pain without quitting, something changes. You trust yourself more. You stop doubting your resilience. You stop questioning your strength. You stop fearing hard moments. Self-trust is earned, not imagined. Pain is how it's earned. And once you trust yourself, life loses its ability to intimidate you. Number 34. Pain eliminates the need for comparison. Comparison exists in comfort. When men suffer meaningfully, they stop looking sideways. They are too busy carrying their own weight. Pain turns attention inward. You stop measuring yourself against others. You measure yourself against your discipline. That creates peace. Number 35. Pain aligns effort with identity. Eventually, pain stops feeling like something you endure. It becomes part of who you are. I am the man who shows up. I am the man who carries weight. I am the man who does not quit. When identity forms, effort becomes automatic. Life feels simpler because you are no longer negotiating who you are. Number 36. Pain removes the illusion of control over life. You cannot control life. You can control how you meet it. Pain teaches this faster than anything else. Once you accept this, frustration disappears. You stop fighting outcomes. You focus on action. That is maturity. Number 37. Pain teaches respect for time. Pain teaches patience. Growth takes time. Strength takes time. Mastery takes time. Men who avoid pain rush everything. Men who accept pain understand process. Time stops feeling wasted when pain has purpose. Number 38. Pain builds quiet confidence. Loud confidence comes from ego. Quiet confidence comes from endurance. The man who has suffered does not need to announce strength. He knows that knowing is calm. That calm is powerful. Life respects quiet confidence. Number 39. Pain prepares you for solitude. Pain often isolates. Not everyone can walk with you through discipline, and that's fine. Solitude strengthens alignment. You stop depending on applause. You stop needing agreement. You become self-directed. Number 40. Pain completes the cycle of meaning. Pain, discipline, discipline, strength, strength, responsibility, responsibility, purpose. This is the cycle. Remove pain and the cycle breaks. Life feels meaningless not because it lacks joy, but because it lacks earned strength. Pain is what earns it. Now listen carefully to the final truth. Life does not owe you comfort. Life offers you growth. Pain is the cost. Once you accept that cost, everything aligns. You stop feeling lost. You stop feeling confused. You stop asking for life to be easier. You become capable. A capable man does not fear pain. He uses it. He does not complain about difficulty. He expects it. He does not look for escape. He looks for responsibility. And responsibility gives life meaning. So remember this. Pain is not a mistake. Pain is not punishment. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is instruction. Accept it fully, and your life will no longer feel random. It will no longer feel unfair. It will no longer feel empty. It will feel directed, calm, disciplined, grounded. That is when life finally makes sense. That is the path. And this is where everything becomes clear. Not dramatic, not emotional, clear. When pain is fully accepted, life stops feeling like a puzzle you must solve and starts feeling like a path you must walk. Step by step, day by day, no confusion. Number 41. Pain teaches you how to stand alone. At some point, pain removes the crowd. Not everyone understands discipline. Not everyone respects effort. Not everyone will walk with you when comfort disappears. This is not a loss. It is refinement. Pain teaches you how to stand without support, without praise, without reassurance. A man who can stand alone is impossible to control. Life overwhelms men who need approval. Life respects men who rely on discipline. Number 42. Pain removes emotional bargaining. An undisciplined man bargains with life. If this works, I'll try. If it feels better, I'll continue. If I get results, I'll commit. Pain ends bargaining. Teaches you to commit first. Work without guarantees. Train without applause. Endure without promises. This creates inner authority. And authority brings peace. Number 43. Pain transforms effort into devotion. At first, discipline feels forced. Then it feels familiar. Eventually, it feels necessary. Pain accelerates this process. Effort stops being something you do. It becomes something you respect. You stop asking whether you feel like it. You do it because it is required. That is devotion. Life becomes meaningful when effort is no longer optional. Number 44. Pain teaches you the difference between want and need. Pain strips desire down to truth. You realize how little you actually need. A body that works. A mind that is steady. Purpose that is clear. Everything else becomes noise. Life feels overwhelming only when desires multiply. Pain simplifies desire, and simplicity brings peace. Number 45. Pain creates moral strength. Moral strength is doing what is right even when it is uncomfortable. Pain tests this. Will you stay disciplined when no one is watching? Will you remain honest when it costs you? Will you stay consistent when it is boring? Pain reveals character, and character creates meaning. Number 46. Pain teaches respect for limits. Limits are not weaknesses. They are guides. Pain shows you where to rest,